Well, when they told me that I had stage 4 colon cancer, those are the words that nobody ever wants to hear.
Because when you come here for cancer or any really serious problem, you're frightened because you don't know what first of all, the prognosis, nor do you know what the outcome is going to be.
I think it was a combination of shock, fear, just anxiety, just a deep hurt, and scared. Scared was as much as anything, yeah.
The Harold and Carol Pump Foundation, bringing hope, financial support, and cutting-edge technology to the fight against cancer.
The first year of chemotherapy was extremely difficult. I mean, they used to say the chemo will kill you before the disease does, and I thought they were joking, but it's really true. But if it weren't for the nurses in the chemo lab, who are extraordinary, I mean, they're so patient, and I would never have survived.
Well, as the care as a patient was, I'm going to say, superb. I have been many places, in many hospitals, but when I came here, what I experienced was the really compassion.
The people here, from the nurses to everybody that I ran into that had any contact with me were just phenomenal.
This was the first place at that time, especially in 2011, that I felt comfortable and safe, no matter how serious it was. And it was not from me, it was the staff.
Dana and David Pump's effort to build a lasting legacy to their parents has resulted in a foundation that has raised over $8.5 million.
We said, let's start a foundation to raise money for our local hospital. And I remember giving our first gift of $2 million. And I looked at David and he looked at me and was like, how are we going to get this done? And it all started with a big dream.
Well, my mom died close to 7 years ago, so Carol got to see what we started. And I know my mom would be so proud, and my dad, it's just every year to remember him and his legacy and both of them. And every year Dana and I strive to make the year better. And this is our 22nd year, and we're more excited this year than we've ever been.
It's created and funded the Carol Pump Women's Center, Harold and Carol Pump Department of Radiation Oncology, the Levy Cancer Center at Northridge Medical Center, and the Pump Family Infusion Center.
No, as I said, nobody wants to ever hear the words that you got cancer and that you're going to have treatment, but if it ever comes to that, the Harold and Carol Pump Foundation and the facility here, there's no other place in the world I would rather be than right here.
And as a patient, I'm going to say that I wouldn't think of going anywhere else.
They made me feel like I was the only patient in this complex at Northridge Hospital.
I'm extremely appreciative of the Pump Foundation and their funding of the service that allowed me to be able to keep all my chemotherapy appointments here at the hospital. It was life-saving. I wouldn't have been able to do it without it.
And I have to say, from the Pump organization, they were very wonderful. And we're so grateful that they have contributed to this hospital and to our patients, because I experienced it.
And it's so great that the people here, as again, through your generosity, we're able to have this facility and these resources. And oh my Lord, these people that are just so phenomenal to work with all of us that need it, and we do need it.
I've had the fantastic doctors that are here, and all I can say is this is a wonderful organization, and God has blessed us.
Their goals are clear: create awareness, raise funds, find a cure, and ultimately end cancer.
Well, I think whomever you may be, when you consider donating to a foundation to support something, you have to think in terms of how it affects you and your family. Because no matter who you are and how wealthy you are, cancer can strike anybody.
Thank you for joining us in this battle. This effort needs you. After all, the legacy started by Dana and David belongs to all of us.